Let us have a look at the sessions. Why do people come for mentoring? Usually there are three main reasons. Firstly, they'd like to achieve a goal, and maybe they know they don't have the skills in order to achieve that goal and they need support. Secondly, they may need a specific skill set or a process. They're probably at an area in their life or their career where they've realized that they don't quite have the skills they need in order to progress. And thirdly, they may need to solve a specific issue, and they know that they can't do it with the skills that they currently have. So they want to seek out someone who has done it before and who knows how to help them as quickly as possible. Or maybe it's a combination of all three. So when you are having a conversation, try and find out what it is that they're after. Do they want to achieve a goal? Do they need a specific skill set or understand a process? Or do they have a problem that they need solving? Let's have a look at the structure of a session. Step one, you want to share. Share who you are, why you're there, what experience you have, and how you can help. Now, don't be too intimidating. You might have years of experience. You might be working for a company that has certain protocols and processes that are highly respected within the industry. You may know things that the mentee has never even heard about. So when you do share, try to be sensitive to the fact that person may feel intimidated and share what is necessary in order to help that person. And also find out about them. Who are they? What do they do? How do they get started? What do they find challenging? What is something they like doing outside of work? Your goal is to build rapport so that person knows you, likes you, and trusts you, because then everything flows more easily. Secondly, you want to identify the session type. What are we doing in this session? Are you here because you'd like to achieve a goal? Is there a certain skill set or a process you'd like to learn? Or do you have a problem that you would like to solve? And you might ask them by saying, how can I support you today? Once you go through the session and either give them that skill set or process or help them achieve that goal or help them overcome that problem, then it's time to set your commitments. Now, asking the mentee to set their commitments is a very, very big step, and ask them to be as specific as possible as to what exactly they're going to do and when they're going to do it and how they're going to do it and what might prevent them from doing it, what might be challenging or stop them, and find out how motivated they are to take those steps. By doing that, you'll get them to visualize exactly what it is they need to do in order to get the outcomes that they're after. And finally, summarize. Ask them to summarize what value they got out of the session. And this does a couple of things. Firstly, it allows them to reflect, and in reflecting, they create what we call a learning loop. They're able to close that learning loop. Not only have they learnt a whole lot of information, but they have now reflected on it, and this creates new neural pathways in their brain so they can remember it more easily. Secondly, it helps you because you hear what has worked and what they found more challenging, so that next time you'll be even more experienced. So asking, what value did you get out of this session? Or what was most valuable to you? And that way you can hear their answer and learn from it as well. But let's have a look at some of the questions that you can ask in the share section, the first part of that session, just so you know where to get started. How did you get started in your career is a great question. They can tell you where they went from and where they've got to. Then you can ask them, do you know where you want to get to? What's your vision? So you can have an idea of their ambition or where they're going for or what they need. Then you can ask them, what are they good at and what do they find challenging? Usually people jump straight into what they find challenging, but do persist to ask them, what are you really good at? What do you find easy? What is something that you can do better than most? And you can also ask them, what prompted you to connect with me today? And that's a very powerful question because it's simple, it's concise, and it allows them to share where they're at. And finally, what do you want to get out of this session? So if this session was the most successful mentoring session you've ever had, what would you know by the end of it that you don't know right now? So what would you like to get out of this session? And there you have it. That's the structure for a mentoring session. It's very simple, it's conversation, and you're there to help support this person and get them from where they are to where they need to be.